What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Hot Mic here on the John Rocha channel. I am the titular John Rocha, joined as always by the man who was warming up for the show here, the Sneider himself, Jeff Sneider. How are you, brother?
Hello, Johnny boy.
I love the combo. By the way, I want to tell you something. My mother last night, we were on the phone for about an hour, talking, catching up. It's been a week since we chatted. She says this is her favorite show of mine that she watches. She watches all my shows on YouTube there. My mom, 82-year-old mom back in Virginia, and she says you're her favorite co-host. She says she loves your style, your glasses, your hats.
Moms love me. What can I say?
They do. Yeah. She's a big fan of you. But we are here, y'all, with another episode of the Hot Mic, and we're going to talk about all the things going on in the world of entertainment. And yes, as you know by the thumbnail, as you know by the title, we will absolutely get into the big story that's been consuming the pop culture landscape for the last 24 hours. And we'll threaten to consume even more of the pop culture landscape as things go on, because as of right now, Jeff, people are protesting out in the streets. Damon Lindelof is saying he's not going to come back and honor his contract. And there's all kinds of articles being written. David Letterman's being interviewed about this stuff. So there's all kinds of things happening, but we're not going to lead off with that. We're just saying that is what's happening right now. And certainly there's more to come. And of course, you and I are arbiters of free speech, both of us having, said some things that were controversial, but also said some things that were true. So, it's just how we roll. We'll get into that. But how are you? Where are you at right now? How are things going on in your life, my man?
I'm staying safe. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy out there. What a world that we live in.
I know, it really is maddening how bad it's gone. But yeah, we've got some good things going on here today. We're going to talk some trailers.
Thank God for the movies, right? Yeah, thank God for the movies.
100%. Even though, the movie that's out this weekend, maybe not getting the best response, but a movie is about to come out next week, which we're going to talk about here on the show. One battle after another. We're going to have so much going on. So let's not waste any time. And remember, the Streamlabs Super Chats are open. You want to get your questions in, make sure they get answered by us before we run out of time. You better get them in now. Streamlabs Super Chats are open. It's pinned in the chat. It's in the description of the video as well. Let's start here, Jeff. Alien Romulus. We got some more updates on the Fede Alvarez situation. Remember back in February, he told fans, I think the sequel is my next movie, and I hope I can shoot it this year. He said to Empire he was excited to be back on set, but by June he confirmed he was in prep mode, eyeing a fallout, but of course eyeing a fall shoot. But of course you reported that the narrative didn't quite line up behind the scenes, and your sources suggested the director was actually fired after numerous creative stances. Well, now Alvarez is still sticking to his story. Speaking at Horror Hound Weekend, he doubled down, claiming, I don't think I was ever going to direct the sequel. We always knew, right, when we finished, this is one of those things where you come in and you do one and get out. Cameron, Fincher, all those directors I love, they went and did one. Obviously, Ridley created it. He has the right to make a bunch of them. We didn't want to write it. We wrote it and made sure they stayed alive. We did want to write it, rather. We wrote it and made sure they stayed alive, and now we can let someone else make it. Jeff, your thoughts on these comments? Is this brand-saving, face-saving? What is he doing here?
I mean, yeah, like, what do you want me to say? Okay, I have nothing against Fede Alvarez. I like Fede Alvarez. I don't know why things didn't work out, other than Ridley is Ridley, and Ridley gonna be Ridley.
Yeah, Ridley always gonna Ridley.
Like, to me, it doesn't make sense, his earlier comments that clearly lead you to believe that he's directing this movie, number one.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
And it also doesn't make sense when he says, well, people did one and then they got out, but we wanted to write this one. And then hand it off to somebody. Like, what? I'm not trying to cause drama. I'm not trying to cause anybody a liar. Like, I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
This is what I asked literally one person who would know, and they were like, it wasn't his choice. That's all I'm going off of. It's one source being who literally said wasn't his decision.
Well, it clearly has caught on because he's still constantly defending the situation and trying to change the narrative of what, as you said, he himself laid out. These were his words,
I'm saying, what a crazy story to erupt from a 3-word text message that just said it wasn't his decision.
Yeah. He confirmed it was his next movie over and over again. He confirmed that he was prepping for it. He confirmed that cameras would roll in the fall. No director, no one who is not going to direct the movie is telling you that when the cameras are rolling or that it's their next movie that they're prepping. he did not mean it's the next movie that I'm writing, right? We knew what he meant. It's the next movie that he's doing.
Nothing makes sense. No, you guys can believe who you want. I don't know. I'm not here to cause shit with Fede Alvarez.
Yeah, but what happens now with Fede? I mean, this feels like a bit of a clumsy, awkward exit from a franchise that he, in essence, helped to revitalize along with Noah Hawley currently with Alien Earth. Like, this seems like a bad way to exit this franchise. If you're a guy, or if you're someone who's running a franchise, does this give you a little bit of a hesitation to hire out Fede Alvarez to be part of your franchise? If this is how he's leading?
I think, if anything, this just speaks to like how difficult it can be sometimes working with Ridley.
I
don't think this reflects on Fede as much as it does like, oh yeah, Ridley gonna be Ridley.
Well, to me, the comment he says here, obviously Ridley created, he has the right to make a bunch of them. That to me is the giveaway. That to me is like, hey kid, thanks for getting us back on our feet. I'll take it from here. I think that, I'm going to take the ball from here. I appreciate you getting us back in the lead. I'm going to come back in. You were the backup quarterback.
That he's the one coming back in to like make this next Alien movie. I'm like, people are like, that's the thing about this industry, right? I say something and then people take it one step further extrapolate certain things, and it's not necessarily true. I don't know. I don't know that Ridley's going to direct this. I would doubt that he will. He has a lot of pressure.
I said that last week when you were asking me about it, that I thought it meant maybe Ridley's going to come in and direct. So that's me, saying that, which is why I grabbed it.
You never know, right? I mean, fuck. We just spent the last year talking about which movie's going to be Scorsese's next movie. This movie, or this movie. And today, Justin just reported it's actually going to be a different movie. So, it's like these things are fluid.
Yeah, always.
And
fluid.
People don't seem to understand that.
Yeah, they always want to tie you down and pin you. Oh, no, you were wrong here. And it's like, everything is always fluid, so people need to be more aware of that, for sure.
These are all just snapshots of a moment in time.
Very eloquent. Let's move on to Matt Reeves, bro. Matt Reeves got more comments to say about the Batman situation. He was talking to a number of people in promotion for the movie. He said, when asked about he's on the Happy Sad Confused podcast again with Josh Horowitz. This is a new interview with him, a recent interview. He was asked about the idea of the Batman Part 2 and its connection with James Gunn's universe. And he said, we haven't talked about anything like that. We've had conversations about how things could work and all that kind of stuff, just in general. So, of course, it would be a lot of fun. What I really want to do is play out these stories that we began and arrive at the conclusion I've hoped we would arrive at from the beginning. It's very exciting. And when talked about James Gunn and his commentary about the Batman Part 2, he said, first of all, I'm flattered. That's very kind of James to say. It would be really exciting to work with them, of course. We're working with them on the Batman 2. I mean, it's DC, so like it's Elseworld, but it is DC, so it's theirs as well. What the future brings and what I'm doing will become clear when it comes. So your thoughts on this? Calling it an Elseworld, saying they'd love to work with James. He is co-producing Clayface. So what do you take from these comments here, Jeff, about what he's saying?
I think he said, again, absolutely nothing. Like most of these, why would Matt Reeves go ahead and just like give it away to some junketeer on a red carpet?
Right. Well, I mean, this is Josh Horowitz on his podcast, but yes, I hear your point.
Well, then forgive me, Josh Horowitz, who I do love and respect. But at the same time,
he's not going to give it away to Josh Horowitz, right?
I'm like, Josh Horowitz doesn't really break news. I mean, it sometimes happens in his interviews, but
sure.
I think Matt Reeves, this is always been the party line. This is what they've been saying for years now. Oh, this is DC Elseworlds or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody likes Elseworlds. I think this is a terrible branding thing. Okay. It basically says you can skip this.
Yeah.
Even though it's Batman, so people won't. But at the same time, it otherizes it in a way that it doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
And I think that, like when Matt Reeves says that what we're doing will become clear in time.
Yeah.
I think it will too. And I don't think it's necessarily whatever it is right now.
Right. Oh, I see. Do you think as you hear more from him that it kind of hints at that they won't be merging? Or do you think that's still...
Who knows? You see all these things, on the set of Clayface. Oh, this is from Pattinson's Batman. Dun, 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 dun. Internet detectives. So who fucking honestly?
Yeah.
it just makes sense. But like, whatever.
Well, he also said that the antagonist
Anymore.
is going to be someone we've never seen before on screen in quite this way. So
Okay,
a lot of people,
that definitely hints at like a new antagonist, right, John? Like, and Hush comes to mind because I guess Hush is set up in the Batman or whatever, and that was always the first thing I had heard.
Yeah,
was Hush, and then there's the Court of Owls.
Court of Owls, right? Which someone found an old clip of them in the Batman promotion where they discussed Court of Owls. Jeffrey Wright, Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, and Paul Dano. So, yeah, it's possible.
There's one more that people mentioned,
which is
I forget.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember? No,
I don't. I didn't see it.
Court of Owls, Hush, and one other one.
Okay.
Maybe like a serious, Hugo Strange.
Oh, Hugo Strange. Right.
And then like a serious take on Mr. Freeze.
Right. Yeah, but it's also, I like the comments that he's saying that he's focusing on Bruce Wayne. Like, it's going to be about the character story. It's a character story. We see the first one. We know what happened by the end. He's much more willing to connect with the people of Gotham. Okay, now what happens next, right? Him being frustrated about being Batman. What does it all mean? What is his responsibility to the situation? I mean, I think Court of Owls makes a lot of sense, considering where it could be. And they could be setting up Court of Owls to be the third thing, but they'll drop seeds of it in this one if they're going to go trilogy route. And it could be Hush in this one, but then Court of Owls in the third one, feeding off of what they gave us in the second one, possibly. But
I'm told that there's going to be a Catwoman series, basically between Batman's 2 and 3, if there is a third Batman movie. But that was like always sort of the plan.
Is that where we might see Kristen Milioti return as Sophia Falcone?
I have no idea.
Okay,
she may get her own spin-off series.
Oh yeah, possible.
I could see that if she's not in the Batman 2, then I could absolutely see her getting her own spin-off series.
Yeah, I only asked because of the end of the Penguin. We have that exchange. She gets that letter from Catwoman, so maybe she does a 1 or 2 episode arc possibly in there. So could be interesting for sure. So it just sounds. Yeah, go ahead.
Could you imagine, John, as Hugo Strange, Mahershala Ali?
Ooh,
he ditched Blade.
It's funny you asked that because the Marvel Zombies trailers are getting people excited to see Blade again. But again, he's been on this project for 8 years now. I would think that there's a possibility to move on from it to Hugo Strange. I don't know if I see him as a Hugo Strange because Hugo's a big dude. So I don't know if I necessarily see him. I mean, I could see M'Baku, Winston Duke. I could see him as Hugo Strange if you want to go the black actor route. But I mean, Mahershala is fantastic. He could make it work, but it's not who I would think of initially for that character. Yeah.
I mean, he was offered Gordon, right?
Yes, which would have been an interesting Gordon. Yeah.
You never know if Matt Reeves comes back to him for something.
Why not? All right, let's move on to this, Jeff. What's the real quick? Shawn Levy dropped a picture, a new picture from the Star Wars Starfighter set. This is supposedly on the Mediterranean, although to me it looks like the tank there in Paramount. Your thoughts on this shot? Anything to talk about here? Isn't this more just kind of building up hype for the movie? Anything to point out as you look at this photo, or them even posting it?
I mean, no, honestly, I just like Gosling looks like Buffalo Bill or something.
What? From Silence of the Lambs?
Can you kind of see it?
A little bit, man. A little bit.
I don't know. There's something about, I don't know, if he had work done or his eyes. Anyways.
Oh.
I like the kid's money. That kid's going to be gold.
Yeah.
Be perfect for whatever Shawn Levy's cooking up. I love Gosling. I've loved him since day one. But I don't know. He looks like a pirate or something here, like a like a space pirate.
Yeah. Sorry about that. It looks like roguish, that kind of Han Solo vibe to him. A smuggler, maybe, possibly. He's got that energy to him, and even the kid too. Kind of like mini Han Solo garb that he's wearing there.
Looks overall, like he's about to tuck and dance around. Just listen to imagine that
just look on pretty
song in your head.
Oh, I should tell you, man. I showed the monster trailer to the Lady Outlaw last night, and by the time it was the new one, by the time it was over, she's like, "I'm not watching that. That's going to give me nightmares for months." They went too far. It's like that's perfect. Can't wait to. It makes me want to watch now the Dahmer one. Everyone loved that one so much. I kind of resisted it, but maybe I will. Maybe I will. So anyway, we'll see with the Star Wars thing where that leads us. Let's get into some trailers, Jeff. New Anaconda trailer dropped this week. We also got the first Housemaid trailer with Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried, and a second The Lost Bus trailer. And let me say this right now, right off the bat. That second Lost Bus trailer, 100%. I think Matthew McConaughey is the odds-on favorite to win Best Actor. I know you've been saying that this has Oscar potential all over it. I wasn't buying it until I saw the second trailer. Now I'm 1,000% in. What are your thoughts on that trailer and the other trailers I just mentioned here?
Yeah, it's going to be Matthew McConaughey this year versus Paul Rudd for Anaconda. It's
in his rugby shirt walking up and winning the award.
I didn't watch the second trailer for The Last Bus. I'm sold.
It's so good, dude.
Again, when I was 12 years old, my summer camp burned to the ground. Overnight at 4:30 in the morning, and I wasn't one of them, but there were kids my age who lost everything that they had.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, nobody died, but it was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was a fraction as crazy as, the Paradise Fire. And I think this is going to be a pretty crazy story. And it's aimed at Academy voters many of whom lost their homes. And all they need to do is try out some firefighters here who fought the blaze in Paradise and lived, I'm like, this should be a layup. I think it'd be really good. I like Paul Greengrass, working in this genre. I love McConaughey. I'd be surprised if I didn't love this movie. So I can't wait to see it.
There's much more, because you haven't seen it. There's much more about his backstory and where he's at in his life and his relationship with his mother and the kind of at his final straw that he's at as a character. So the trailer really captures that before they get into all of the stuff going on with the fire, which I thought worked really well. Well, what do you think of the Housemaid trailer? Because I got to tell you, man, Amanda Seyfried was acting rings around Sydney Sweeney in this trailer. It didn't excite me other than to see Amanda Seyfried. I feel like Sydney was maybe phoning this one in. What do you think of this trailer?
Rope-a-doping you.
Well, I hope so. I want to see a good movie.
I think that this movie looks really good.
Okay.
Again, I haven't heard... I didn't get a great test screening report necessarily.
Yeah, Jordan mentioned that in World of Real as well.
Yeah, okay, so what? That's one test screening report. I wish people wouldn't read too much into that, right? It's one person's opinion.
Right.
But, it also would be disingenuous of me if I didn't know that. And if it was a rave, if people start sending me, all these raves from test screenings, I may be a little suspicious. But yeah, I would certainly mention that, as I did last week when we mentioned Vision. Right. I've heard Vision is really good.
Right.
So, sometimes it goes one way, sometimes it goes the other. And you either can, take it with a grain of salt or don't.
Right. All right. Well, what about this? I was a bit disappointed by this trailer. I thought it was going to be funnier. I do think the back half of the trailer was funnier, but it didn't quite get me excited to see the movie. And this is coming out on Christmas Day. Really curious time to put this film out.
Yeah, so I was beginning to question whether it was going to come out on Christmas Day, right? I was like, if we don't see something soon, it'll be how does this movie even open on Christmas Day? So apparently Sony is sticking to that, even though I think it would probably play better as a January or February release.
Yeah.
And I thought the trailer looked okay. It was a little flat. I agree with you. It was a little flat.
Yeah.
But there is something about, fucking Jack Black, Paul Rudd together, two of the funniest guys, in showbiz, and a giant fucking snake, which looks just gigantic.
When it takes that one woman out on the shore, I was losing my shit in my reaction.
I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, it could be fun. Hopefully that beginning part is just like a quick part of the movie, and then they get into the snake stuff because it has elements of like Jurassic World in it. And I wonder if they'll have any cameos. Like, does Owen Wilson or J-Lo or Ice Cube or even John Voight with his blinking eye, do they show up near the end? I just think it would be funny to see them have a small part in the film as themselves, by the way, as the actors in the movie, as like J-Lo, as Ice Cube, as John Voight, going, what the hell are you idiots doing? It was just a movie. You know, that.
Do you think that Christmas was the right play for this movie?
Fuck no. I think it's why would you put anything like this that already seems a bit shaky up against Avatar? I get that you want to do counter programming. Like Nosferatu came out on Christmas Day and did well at the box office. But I mean, that's a fucking high-end masterpiece type of movie for people who liked it. But like, this is like a throwaway comedy. And I get it. This is a film you go see with your family or whatever, or maybe taking a break from the family. You run to the theater and see it as like a 2-hour break from your family. But
this is a summer movie.
Yes, 100% a
summer movie, and this should have been released in like August or something.
Yeah,
like early August.
Yeah, 1,000%.
They missed their window, or I don't know what's going on here, but I just have a bad feeling about the Christmas date.
Yeah. The Colleen Hoover film was moved. You saw that by a month. Does that mean anything? Moved 1 month? Yeah.
Yeah, it moved from February to March, right?
Right. Yeah, it wasn't that much of a move.
Better date. You move away from Wuthering Heights or whatever.
Right. Makes sense. All right, let's move on to some other stuff here. Let's hit this thing. Joseph Kosinski's Miami Vice film here. Now, the reboot has been set for August 2027 as a release date. Of course, Joseph Kosinski, the director behind F1 and Top Gun Maverick, has taken on Miami Vice, and as I said, the reboot is set to hit theaters on August 6th of 2027. This is via Universal Studios, so this is official. So the film apparently, according to Variety, explores the glamour and corruption of mid-80s Miami and draws inspiration from the pilot and first season of the original TV series. Casting is underway. Dan Gilroy wrote the script, and production kicks off next year. And he plans to shoot the film, Kosinski does, in IMAX or for IMAX. So fascinating stuff to consider for this movie. We have a Miami Vice remake by Michael Mann. So your thoughts on this, Jeff? What do you hear about this movie? Are you hearing anything in the wind? If casting is underway, are you hearing any names?
Yeah, if Universal Pictures has any balls, they'll cast me as Sonny Crockett and my boy Johnny Rocha as Tubbs.
I'm not going in blackface. Stop it. I'm not going in blackface.
We can have Latino Tubbs.
Tubbs. Hey, I think he was half Latino on the show. I forget. But yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't think that race is that important. In fact, I think you could have a black lead and a Latino lead.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't even think you need a white guy necessarily.
Well, what do you think about? Do you think we'll hear some casting news? Do you think are we close? Have you heard any names? Like, is anything that you
any names? But like, imagine if you could get like if someone was like, "All right, we're gonna cast Michael B. Jordan as Sonny Crockett."
Oh man, with Glenn Powell? Is it a Glenn Powell Michael B. Jordan combo? Or are you walking into the Colin Farrell Jamie Foxx territory where it's two guys who on the come up who are like alpha dogging it all over the place and could ruin the movie?
So here's the thing. I think that you do the F1 formula.
A younger guy, older
movie star, and a younger protege.
Yeah. I mean, Damson could make the move, couldn't he? It would be, I don't know if you want to repeat the pattern, but he could make the move.
That depends who he's up against. Obviously, he couldn't do it against like Michael B. Jordan.
No.
Yeah, but I'm certain. To me, that wasn't even like the big part of this announcement. So,
go ahead.
And this is what I called a roundabout.
Yeah.
If Joseph Kosinski is making this movie and it's dated for 2027,
yeah,
what does that mean for Top Gun 3? Okay.
Ooh.
It means he won't even be able to begin shooting Top Gun 3 until 2027, really, until after this movie comes out, Miami Vice, which is summer 2027. So let's just say he starts Top Gun fall 2027. That means it won't be out till 2029 at the earliest, really. And it's more like 2030. And so it's like, that's a long time. That's 5 years into David Ellison's What?
Where would we be? Tom Cruise is 63 right now, Jeff. Are we looking at a 70-year-old Tom Cruise possibly being, or 69-year-old Tom Cruise
Close
being
to
Top
it?
Gun 3?
Yeah, close to it. This is what I'm saying. It's like, or they're gonna move on Top Gun 3
Without it.
without Joe.
Wow.
Right. And so that's the question, is like, are you waiting for this guy and then it's going to be 2029, 2030, maybe by the time you get that movie out? Or are you just saying, God bless? And the other thing is Apple. Like, didn't Apple just pay zillions of dollars for that UFO movie that Kosinski do?
Right.
Like, I honestly thought that was going to be next for him.
Yeah.
And if I was Apple, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. My thing is that I see some people who are listening or watching us right now who might say, well, what about Christopher McQuarrie? Well, we just saw what McQuarrie and Cruise did in the box office, and it wasn't good in terms of the money. So I don't know that Apple would necessarily want to bring McQuarrie in to direct a Top Gun 3, even though I would be interested to see, because I like McQuarrie's Mission Impossible movies. It would be fascinating, but I don't know that there's anyone else Tom would necessarily like work with to do a Top Gun 3.
I think that's a good impulse to have. I mean, and the people that he would work with definitely would not get the job of Top Gun 3. You're not going to bring in Doug Liman to do Top Gun 3. So Christopher McQuarrie, you might, right?
Right.
Especially if you held him to a certain budget, right?
Yes.
I mean, there were certain circumstances that really affected Mission Impossible. I don't think that Top Gun 3 even needs to cost as much as the last Mission Impossible movie did.
Right.
And you're right. But he only trusts so many people. Again, I'd heard that Chris McQuarrie was working on the script for this movie. That was denied. But at the same time, insiders confirmed that he was consulting on the script. Which to me is like, well, if you're consulting on the script, what are you doing if not writing?
Good point.
If not writing on the script. And so I think that he's already pretty involved in it to some extent.
Okay.
And, it wouldn't surprise me at all if that happened.
Do you think Cruise could also do this? And look, I know some people might be like, that's ridiculous, Rocha. It's Tom Cruise. He doesn't need to. But Cruise has been known to be a guy who stands by people who stand by him, right? And I wonder if because of how they came off the Mission Impossible movie and the hits that McQuarrie took for that movie and Cruise for that movie, because in essence, I mean, Tom took control of that movie in essence, with the studio's approval, obviously, because they're not going to try to Bigfoot Tom Cruise. But McQuarrie maybe could use a hit. And so maybe Tom says, well, I won't do it. If Kosinski can't do it, I won't do it without McQuarrie because I want to help my brother out. And I think we can do something. And if he's been working on the script already, it would make sense to make the move. I just would be nervous if I was Apple or if I was, responsible for the movie, not Apple, responsible for the movie. I would be nervous about it. Am I wrong? What do you think? Am I wrong on that?
Well, okay. If it wasn't McQuarrie, if you're wrong, are you wrong about what?
Yeah, am I wrong to think Tom might do that? Like Tom might be like, my brother needs a win. He came with me on the Mission Impossible thing. We ended on a bit of a downturn. I want to help him out. Right. Let's bring him into Top Gun 3. He's already written the script or helped advise on the script.
I could certainly, I obviously could see Tom advocating for us to get that job. And ultimately he's the one who's going to make that decision anyways.
That's true, very true. Yes.
Right. That's if they're not willing to wait for Kosinski, which they may very well be, because I don't think that the script is anywhere near done for Top Gun 3.
Yeah.
Right. So they may have plenty of time. I had another point, but I'm forgetting what it was. Yeah. Anyways.
Someone asked what happened to the Ana de Armas Tom Cruise movie.
No one stepped up to finance it, as far as I know.
Yeah. It's an interesting time for Tom Cruise right now, right? Because he's got the Top Gun stuff, but then the Mission Impossible didn't end so well. And then the Inarritu film, there were budget issues.
Right. If it wasn't Chris McQuarrie, and it wasn't Kosinski, who's another big name director who made a huge movie for Paramount recently that they would give that amount of money to?
I don't know. You tell me. I don't know.
Who directed Gladiator 2?
Oh, Ridley. You really think Ridley would?
Who directed Top Gun, John?
Tony. Oh, so he would do it in honor of his brother?
Oh, shit!
Ridley Scott directing a Top Gun 3. You know what? It's a crazy fucking world. And now I think I could totally see it. I would have said no 10 years ago, but I've seen the craziest pairings over the last 10 years. So sure, why not? Ridley
Not
Scott.
a lot of directors get handed $200 million like that. I'm just saying.
Let me go one step farther than you just came to me right now. What if this is Tom Cruise's directorial debut? Would he direct Top Gun?
I'm going to direct Top Gun 3 myself. How's Michael B. Jordan of him?
It's the height of hubris, and we know Tommy has a lot of hubris. He's a good man. I love Tom Cruise. Never going to say the negative thing about Tom Cruise, but he does have that hubris. He does have the healthy belief in himself. Could this be the moment where he decides to take the reins and make it happen? I mean, I could totally see that.
It's not out of bounds, but I just he's had every opportunity to direct, and he has not. So
yeah, that's true. That's
I
true.
will bet on history there, but it's not a crazy idea.
That could be interesting. Ryan Coogler directing Top Gun 3 could be interesting.
Please, that would be sick.
I would love it. Oh, no way. No, not Michael Bay. No fucking way. That just would. No, there's no. Maybe 10 years ago, but no way now.
Chris Nolan, he would have fun.
Okay, can you imagine?
George Miller. Ooh, I like that.
Oh, George Miller's Top Gun 3 with Cruise?
That would be insane.
Oof, yeah, I like that idea, actually. All right, Jeff, we're 30 minutes in. We got 600 people joining us live. Let's dive into the main topic here. Let's get into it. Are you ready? Stretched out now. You warmed up.
I don't know. Do I have freedom of speech still? Can I?
Oh, you do. Of course you do on this show.
Can I still say anything I want? Trump is coming for us.
Not yet. So this is the thing. Of course, we know over the last 24 hours, Jimmy Kimmel was suspended indefinitely from his show on ABC, and this was because of Nexstar, who refused to carry the show on 200 of its affiliates, and that forced ABC to make the decision. And this was all because of comments he made on Monday night in his monologue addressing the shooter and murderer of Charlie Kirk, which is, of course, something we do not condone. We don't approve of any kind of political violence. And he essentially insinuated, although I think people kind of made some leaps and bounds in their characterization of it, that the kid was possibly MAGA. And that caused all kinds of heads to turn. FCC Chairman Brendan Carr went on a MAGA podcast and essentially said, we can do it the easy way or the hard way. And they decided to pull Jimmy and suspend him indefinitely. And that's the situation. But of course, what came out last night, and you reiterated this in your column as well, is that there are financial situations that are surrounding this decision because of an upcoming possible merger, which the FCC needs to approve. And we know Trump controls the FCC. And please don't delude yourself that he doesn't. So this may have been a business decision. Yeah, I mean, I don't mean you personally, but everyone. So this may have been not only a business decision, but I think in a lot of ways also a targeted attack of free speech by someone who has been critical of Trump from even the Oscars stage in his career. So what are your thoughts on all this, Jeff? I read your column. I don't agree with some of it. I agree with some of it, but it was a good column to write. But go ahead. What are your thoughts on all of this, brother?
Before we even get into the gist of the column, which is about money,
yes,
can we not agree that Nexstar,
you and I, okay,
yes, you and I,
okay,
can we not agree that Nexstar controls a certain number of stations, a great number of stations?
It's 200 stations, yes,
and most of those stations,
yes,
are in the Midwest, and the Midwest is largely pro-Trump.
Yes. I think we can concede that
51% of this country is in favor of Trump, which is how he
of people who voted. 51% of the people who voted. Let's clarify.
Okay, sure. Well, 51% of voters. Let's just, and it could have been more, but for the purposes of this argument, it was more than the other side.
Yes,
that's how he was elected. 50, and like
no conceding that. No.
And the majority of that 51%, I feel like, lives in the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
So they control these stations. And these people are pro-Trump, and every night, as they go to bed, they're subjected to Jimmy Kimmel going off on Donald Trump. Now, deservedly so.
If they're even watching it, but yes.
Sure. But the point is, at some point, why isn't, in Next Star, in addition to the merger and all those considerations, isn't it also like looking out for its audience and being like, well, why are we putting this guy on the air when it's a lot cheaper to just run a rerun of something and, and our audience doesn't get pissed off at us for it?
Well, I think in the way in the vacuum that you're presenting this, I think there's a lot of logic to what you're saying. But you can't ignore all the other things that have been going on for the last 8 months around this kind of stuff, this desire to have an autocratic control of the media. And I do think the Ellison thing is a concerted effort. He is a well-known MAGA Trump supporter. It is a concerted effort to control the news that is being put out. And I do understand conservatives' complaints. Like every talk show host leans liberal on the main networks, right? Fallon, Colbert, Kimmel. I totally get it. But there are Gutfeld, who does really well on Fox News. Jesse Waters does well. Yeah, exactly. So it's not like you're not being represented if you want to go to someplace to have a conservative point of view entertain you.
Sure.
So the timing of this is where the issue is. The FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, says something, and then moments later, hours later, he is removed. But Jeff, Rolling Stone broke this down, and you talked about this in your article as well. The executives there at ABC and Disney had clearly been thinking about this for days because of his comments that night that could have been misconstrued, that he was insinuating that the kid was MAGA. Now, and to be fair, the kid grew up in a MAGA household. Whether he was MAGA or not, you can debate that, of course. But he did grow up in a MAGA household, and maybe he should have chosen his words a little bit better. But sorry, you were going to say.
No, just like this is, again, it's about money, as we've always said on this podcast, right? And so they have a merger, and they're trying to get this merger through. And what's going to endear them to the place, the FCC, that makes sure that the merger goes through and that lifts the cap that they need to be lifted in order for it to go through, since there's a cap that wouldn't even legally allow it to happen.
Can you explain the cap? You mean the amount of news stations they're allowed to have?
Only own up to 39% of stations in the marketplace, right?
Right.
I don't know what percentage it already owns, but with this merger with I think it's called Tegna, which is a $6 billion merger, they would own more than 39%. So they would need the FCC to lift the cap,
right?
And so to endear them to the FCC, and the FCC denied this or whatever in a statement.
Right.
It certainly looked like they were currying favor by pulling Kimmel, right? It's not just about protecting their audience. It's about serving the company's financial business needs, which, again, it's tough to blame them, right? If it's really not going to cost them a lot, if there's not going to be an uproar in their markets about what did you do with Jimmy Kimmel? Where did he go? People are like, good riddance.
Some people would be, but as you've seen, the reactions have been pretty strong from people from this happening, right? Because you've seen people are out protesting in the streets right now. You see Damon Lindelof has come out with a statement commenting that he will not return to Disney. He said, if it isn't, I can in good conscience work for the company that imposed it. If you're about to fire up in my comments, just ask yourself if you know the difference between hate speech and a joke. I was shocked, saddened, and infuriated by yesterday's suspension. I look forward to it being lifted soon. And so apparently Matt Bellany is, I keep saying it wrong, is reporting in his Puck News that more creatives are going to come forward to say this. I think it would be fascinating. I don't anticipate it happening, but if a lot of the Marvel actors all of a sudden were like, fuck you, we're not coming back to shoot any reshoots on Doomsday. Fuck you, we're not going forward with this stuff. We're not going to, Russo brothers, we're not going to keep directing the movie. Fuck you. There's
in breach of contract. Right?
Huh?
Do you understand? They'll be in breach of contract.
Is he going to go with 500 lawsuits? They're not going to fucking do that. They'd rather save face.
It is a litigious company.
Well, it is. Yes, I know. You're right. It is. They fought Scarlet. So, yeah, you're right. But I get your point. Yeah, go ahead.
People are getting hung up on the word indefinite, okay? They think that Kimmel has been canceled. I mean, look at the fucking photo that Damon Lindelof, all due respect, love Damon Lindelof, but look at the photo that he used. The guy's not dead. Jimmy Kimmel is not dead. He could go literally anywhere on the planet and have one of the biggest shows on the planet at any point.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just like, I don't really think that he's been canceled. He's been suspended. That means he is expected to return. That's what a suspension is.
Possibly.
And so if it's a 2-week suspension, a 3-week suspension, a month-long suspension, I think Disney will be okay without Damon Lindelof's services during that time. You know, like, it's just like not that big a threat, especially because I don't really expect it to last that long. I do think, and when he does return, it'll be absolutely huge for ratings. I think a 2-week suspension is fine. And I'm not, it is a chilling of free speech, but at the same time, wasn't it the best move? Why? You're still paying, John, for a full show, right? That show cost you the exact same amount.
I don't know that. So you're saying if they're still paying Jimmy for the show and everything like that?
No, not right now. I'm saying if you produce this show still, right?
Gotcha.
You're paying exactly everything that you did last week's episode, right? Except you're only serving half the audience.
Right.
Because it's off the market, like, because another company, Nexstar, and I believe Sinclair as well, decided on their own, according to their statement today, that they decided to take it off the air. Okay, whether they said they didn't feel pressured, I'm not here to debate whether they were pressured or not. The fact that it's an independent company who made that decision, and so to me, Disney suspending him rather than paying full price to air the show in half the markets, makes total sense to me. It's like, you know.
No, I don't disagree with you. I think when you look at it from a business point of view, it makes sense. But sometimes, and you know this, companies have to look past the bottom line at what they are perpetuating, what they are participating in, which has been happening for the last 8 months, is this knee-bending genuflection to Donald Trump, to his power. And you and I debated this months ago, and you said it was ridiculous for thinking Trump would go into the minutia of everything. This is just the beginning. And you can call me crazy again, like you did 8 months ago, but this is
today.
He is going to go in, like, this Ellison move is to control putting out movies that cater to his point of view.
What does Donald Trump have to do with any? It's not his problem that other people are catering to him. Right? That's their problem.
He's making them do this by threatening them with the power of the government. I mean, the FCC chair. You think the FCC independent? As I tweeted out earlier today, he doesn't piss without Trump's approval. All these people are beholden to him. And if you've been paying attention, I don't mean you personally, I mean you over the royal you. If you've been paying attention to how these people treat him and fed him and all of this stuff, you know that they are worried about offending him in any way, shape, or form. And so they're going to do what he tells them to do. And this whole thing is being done because Trump got his feelings hurt about Jimmy Kimmel making fun of him. Yes. Are there financial implications to all this? Yes, I totally concede that, of course. But this is also because Trump is trying to silence dissent. It's authoritarianism.
What did he do to it? But again, how is he involved in this decision? Do you think that somebody actually called and got his opinion before making this decision?
1,000,000%. Yes.
That's crazy. That's
not crazy. It's very logical.
This is a thing to me.
Orban did this in Hungary. Like, this is what these dictators do. They immediately they use the government to strong arm the independent media, threaten them with the power of the government, and then eventually other people come in and take control of that media and change the slant on that media. That is what he's doing. He is going to try to make this overall conservative media. The thing that conservatives have been screaming about for years is the left-wing leaning media. Well, now conservatives want to be the mainstream media. They will now be the establishment. That is what is happening here. And these little steps, Colbert, and then he said he's coming after Fallon. And
I won't even deny that that's the goal, but again, it's not up to him. He doesn't fire anybody. It's these other companies that are making this decision on their own.
Because he is intimidating them to make this decision. There is a difference. You know, if I got a gun to your head and you the one who pulls the money out of the ATM.
Why was it today or this week, right? Like, he's obviously wanted Jimmy Fallon gone or Jimmy Kimmel gone for a long time.
Well,
right?
I think
why didn't they bend the knee then? Why didn't they bend the knee?
because of the horrible murder of Charlie Kirk, which of course was terrible. There should never have been political violence. We do not approve that. I hope I can speak for Jeff. We do not approve that in any way, shape, or form. But I think they were looking for a reason. The Epstein files fervor the heat was being turned up again.
I agree with you on that.
And I think they used this death now to implement. They were waiting for something to implement their overall plan, and now they're running full bore into this. And no one's talking about the Epstein files anyway, which is what they wanted. And everyone's talking about the loss of free speech, and we're seeing the power here. And it's very dangerous because they're not going to stop at the media. They're going to start going into YouTube channels. They're going to start going into all these entertainment sites. They're going to start doing all this stuff. It is not going to stop because hate and anger and evil must always be fed, and it grows, you know?
I don't know. I just don't like living in this space where everyone is so comfortable being like, they're going to do this and they're going to do that. Well, they haven't yet.
They have been doing a lot for the last 8 months that people predicted that they would do. So they have been doing that, Jeff. They have. I mean, he's kicked off every independent person on all the governmental panels. There is no independent. He went to the Supreme Court today to get that woman kicked off who's an independent woman to stop them from the stuff they're doing there at the Fed. So it's step by step. He does not want to be contradicted in anything he does.
Who would? You know?
We do a show where we contradict each other. We would, Jeff. We would be happy to have people contradict us.
We should be president. I was thinking of running.
A co-president.
I just don't know how, like, when people pin this on Trump, I'm like, you're getting a little carried away. Like, it's just part of this ego. It's like this Trump derangement syndrome, honestly.
Oh, come on.
Everyone just wants to blame him for everything. It's like, what did this guy have to do with this?
You're too smart to say that. Come on, man. David Letterman, who came out today and said that about how it's connected to Trump, it's about.
Letterman is like, oh, this is just misery. Like, woe is me, a world without Jimmy Kimmel tonight to rock me to bed. Like,
no, it's about what it represents, which is the silencing of dissension, the silencing of ridicule of the people in power. This is not America. That's not America. We're free speech is being able to say whatever you want, short of like fire in a crowded theater about a situation. And even Kimmel
He can say anything he wants, but when half the stations refuse to run it, then what do you expect ABC and Disney to do?
I don't disagree with you, and that's next because they are in a situation that they're in, and I wonder, and I don't know what the negotiations are behind the scenes, right? As you said, it's quite possible that ABC did this. Like you and the Rolling Stone and other places reported, like the executives were not necessarily upset about what Jimmy said. They didn't really were offended by it. They didn't think he crossed the line, but they looked at the financial implications of this whole situation. They saw an opportunity to maybe curry favor with Trump, and they did this now. And maybe down the road, as you said, they bring Kimmel back once the deal gets approved or whatever. And then it comes back with all this massive stuff and all this hoopla. But I do think it's the thing that I think you're missing, or maybe you don't see, or maybe for whatever reason is I think
I see it. I get what people are saying, but I just think it's like the fear is like overblown. That late night is a dying space.
100%. It is. But he's already said he's going to go after Fallon. He's going to go after Seth Meyers. And he said he wants to go after, like, he put a $15 billion lawsuit against the New York Times. Everything that goes against him, every piece of media that goes against him, he sues them or tries to get people fired from those companies. That tells you he cannot handle dissent.
I'm not arguing this is like a good guy or like that. These are like the right moves to make.
Right.
But I just don't understand. Like, again, no one is condoning Trump's behavior. But I don't understand a lot of the arguments that the so-called left makes.
Well, I think it's more than just the left. There are Republicans who are saying the same thing over the last 24 hours. Even Kennedy on the Five, who I really give almost no stock to in her opinions on things, said that if this is a dangerous precedent to set, because then what if a Democratic president comes in 3 years, which I don't even know if we're going to have election in 3 years, and uses the FCC to shut down Fox News and OAN and all these places, that's not America. That's not right. America.
And I agree.
Right.
But it's like, again, people like got all on my ass today about it, but it's like, obviously I see the world through my life and my experiences.
Right.
And when I said shit, right, online that upset my bosses,
Yeah.
they like, there was no free speech then. There were no cries then of free speech, right? It was, this guy's, said something and pissed a lot of people off, and good riddance. And that's honestly how a lot of people feel about Kimmel, and they shouldn't. That's not how I feel. Right. I hope Jimmy comes back, and I do believe that he will be back, unless he decides, hey, I had enough of this. I'm going to go do my own thing elsewhere. But meanwhile, money talks, John. And if it's such a big deal at Nextstar, then you would have customers flooding Nextstar saying, I'm going to cancel my service unless you put Jimmy Kimmel back on the air. And they'd listen, like they just haven't been receiving those calls as far as I know. I haven't seen that story. Have you?
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that story, but I have seen people coming out in large numbers saying they're going to cancel their Disney Plus subscriptions or ABC subscriptions, things of that nature. ESPN just launched a whole new platform. And I don't know how many people actually cancel their ESPN stuff, but like there are ramifications of it. And I agree with you. As you said, money talks. So people should protest how they see fit, as long as it's, they're not hurting anybody. If the way they want to protest to counter this stuff is to surrender their subscriptions. But like with Nextstar, it's different, right? Because like they're tied into these little networks on purpose. And if you want any kind of broadcast, you can't just go, well, I'll take the ABC channel, but not the NBC channel, not this. It's all part of a package. So you would sacrifice all these other channels in order to take a stand against Nextstar. And most people won't do that. And they fucking know they won't do that, which is why they set up the system this way.
They have power. I mean,
right.
Of course. It hasn't been consolidated, thankfully, into one place. Like, this is Nextstar, the little guy, if you will, taking its stand.
Yeah.
And even though some of us don't agree with it, but like that's where the so-called censorship lies. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't recall an FCC case against Kimmel. Right. The guy went on a podcast and said something. Who knows if Trump told him to say it, condoned what he said or whatever, but within hours, Nextstar made its decision. I don't.
It's hard to say he didn't know about it when he immediately, when it was the decision, he was crowing about it and saying, this is not the end. Like, that tells you he was behind all of it.
He was reacting to headlines that by that point had come out, right? So it always seemed like he was one step behind the news cycle in a way.
Well, you and I go after studio heads all the time who claim ignorance about shit, and we call them out. How can you claim that Trump isn't in the same ballpark, or in the same boat? It's the same thing.
And I'm just trying to imagine being like the executive vice president or CEO of Nextstar, and I'm getting Trump on the line and telling him what we're about to do and getting his sign-off or authority. Like, what?
He's not going to get his hands dirty. He gets his boys like the FCC chairman Carr there to do that kind of stuff. He always has go-betweens who do all that kind of stuff because he's a businessman. He knows, I'm not going to go into a personal meeting. I'm going to have my boys do it for me. And that's why he's got everybody around him who works at the pleasure of the president, as Carolyn Levitt has said. And they're going to do what he wants them to do. And that's what you see happening here, So he's absolutely complicit in all of this. Well, they're not going to go off independent. I had a great idea. Let me shut down a bunch of networks and not tell Trump about it. Are you insane?
I just I think it made business sense for Disney ABC to suspend Kimmel and to take him off the air and to basically say, well, you can't take him off the air because we already suspended him.
Yeah, I know. I'm not. You can't fire me. I quit.
That's basically what it was. Again, it's the injured QB thing. It's like, oh, yeah, no, we're not benching this guy. He hurt his ankle last week. That's why we're starting the rookie this week.
Right.
They're letting him save face.
But I will say, and I hope you can concede this point. You can't deny that there is an effort here to silence dissent against Trump.
Sure, I don't deny that. I don't deny that that's certainly the goal.
Yeah.
And it is up to people to push back, and it will be up to Disney to return Kimmel to the airwaves, and we'll see, what he says then. If he wants to come back.
Yeah.
He may go the Jon Stewart route. Who knows what he wants to do after this, and whether this changes the numbers for him.
Yeah, if I was a billionaire right now, and I wish I was, God, these are the times that I wish I was a billionaire, like a multi-billionaire, like fucking Ballmer over there in the Clippers. I would 100% start an entire, network, a left-leaning network, and I would bring in Colbert, I'd bring in Kimmel, I'd bring in all these people that are being ostracized by the moves that Trump is doing, give them the largest platform possible, immediately put this stuff in motion as a contradiction. Not because they just believe what I believe, but because you must always have balance. We are a country that exists in balance, a two-party system. It's so important to have the balance. And when you don't have the balance, then it becomes an issue, which is why I never had a complaint. I never had an issue with conservatives saying like, well, why aren't we represented on a late night? We should be represented. That's fine. Do it the legal way. Do it the right way. Get in there. Get a conservative to be in there to host the stuff. Great. I don't have any problems with that. Lorne Michaels is kowtowing to him. They're bringing in almost all white people to come in to be part of SNL. And the only black comedian he's bringing is a MAGA black comedian or a MAGA connected black comedian. And I get it. You're catering. That's how you do it. And the thing that's happening now is strong arming. And I don't like the strong arming.
Okay. But when everyone's like, oh my God, they're silencing Jimmy Kimmel. We're being silenced. It's like, nah, dude, you didn't catch a bullet in the throat. You're not dead. That's being silenced.
Right. It's a bit dramatic, but I hear your point. I mean, because we don't know what the real reasons for all of that is, right? I know they want to claim this person is one thing, or we don't know.
But when you say they, I'm just like, there's no centrist position anymore. It's always just like us, them, they, like we, like, okay, can anybody think like that there's fault on both sides anymore? Like,
I'm with you. I think there is. I think the left went too far under the Biden administration. I think they didn't handle immigration correctly, and the left went too far with the pronouns and all the stuff. In hindsight, absolutely. I even felt that when it was happening. Like, I wanted to respect what people felt and cater to it, but also it was going a little far. Now we see the reaction to it, but the way to react to go so far the other way, we got to find the middle ground. But that takes both sides coming to the table in good faith, and there isn't an effort to do that.
Only now do I hear things about free speech, right? Like when we're mouthing off about Charlie Kirk and some of his very ugly opinions, right? There's nobody defending free speech then. You know what I mean? Like, people are just like blind to this stuff.
Well, there was well, it's hard to say that you don't have free speech when you have like 25 conservative networks, 25 conservative websites, like podcasts. Like
no one on the left was defending things that Charlie Kirk said on the grounds of free speech, which is if you believe in free speech, then you believe in free speech for everybody, even with people with opinions that you don't agree with, right?
100%.
I didn't hear any of that. I've only heard about free speech when Kimmel was silenced, as if all the people who are complaining actually gave a shit and watched Kimmel's show at night.
Yeah, but no one was telling Charlie Kirk. Well, from what I saw, no one was telling Charlie Kirk to shut up or was hoping somebody would shut him up. No, I never saw any of that in the interactions, and he was free to say whatever. Which is why he was going to those college campuses, was to exercise his free speech and go back and forth with people.
John, what would you have done? You're the executive, okay?
Yeah.
He says this.
Don't put me in this position because you know what I mean.
Your constituency is pissed, okay? Like, what would you do? Or even forget next star. Like, imagine if you're Disney ABC, right?
Okay.
You're Bob Iger.
I'm Bob Iger.
You're right. And and you go to Kimmel and he presents his plan to apologize, which I think THR reported on, right? He presents his apology and they're like, absolutely not. Like, that's not nearly like what we were thinking, because he wasn't going to really take responsibility for it. He wasn't going to take
his word back.
The wrong way or whatever.
And he certainly wasn't going to donate to Turning Point, which was ridiculous to even request that. Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, yeah. But so it's just like, do you let him go out there and do that and potentially inflame the situation even further?
But don't
we pull him off the air? Well, like, what's the right call?
But don't we say the market demands things? So I would have done, let's see what happens. Put him back out there. Let's see how the market reacts to him being there. If our constituency, if the numbers start to drop, if the protests start to increase, okay, we will make the move. We will talk to Jimmy. If he's not willing to pull back, then we got to tell him that, we might be cutting the show or suspending him.
But that's not how things work in the office. If you do something in the office place, they're not like, hey, let's just let this guy continue working, and if he does it again, then we'll suspend him.
Brian Kilmeade just said he wanted to kill all the homeless people on Fox News. He wasn't suspended for 1 second. So it does work that way.
I'm talking about a regular office, okay?
Oh. Yeah, not Fox News where you can say whatever you want.
Like, if you do something suspendable, they're not like, okay, well, we're not going to do anything this time, and just wait till he does it again, and then we'll suspend him. Like, you get suspended the first time. That's how it works. And he got suspended, and again, I think that he'll be back. I don't really understand people freaking out over the indefinite nature of it all. It's just like, we haven't decided whether we want this to be 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 10 days. Like, we'll fucking let you know. But like,
well, I think that's because it is indefinite that people are worried, because they don't know what the decision is going to be, what's going to be negotiated. So people are reacting this way because I don't think he should have been indefinitely suspended. I don't think he said anything that was necessarily out of bounds. He made a commentary, which people are allowed to say in their opinions. He didn't say this kid is definitely MAGA. He just said that they worked hard to make it seem as if he wasn't. And that was, so it wasn't, and he didn't even say anything about Charlie Kirk. Like, he didn't say anything about Charlie Kirk.
No, he said he was talking about the shooter, right?
He's talking about the shooter. So, but the right wing took it and went like, oh, he's insulting Charlie Kirk. Like, none of that happened. Even Trump said in the press conference, he said terrible things about Charlie Kirk. He didn't, so it's a way that's, I would be okay with all of this if I felt it was done in good faith. But I don't feel like it is being done in good faith. And that's the problem. And I think that's the danger, Jeff. And I hear you. Of course, I can see the points on the business side of things, but there's also a social responsibility that you have as a company to not kowtow to authoritarianism and make a stand. And all these movies they put out, Jeff, Andor was just out and won Emmys, is all about standing up to authoritarianism. So it's good to put out that content, but not follow the content that you're putting out. Like, it's confusing on so many levels. And I think it's a betrayal of the viewers. Like, as long as we get your money, we'll feed you these fantasies. But in real life, we're going to kowtow to authoritarianism. It's a confusing thing to put out to people. And so, anyway. All right.
Again, the idea that Disney leadership has even seen Andor is like funny.
Well, I would hope so.
I have friends in acquisitions, and they'll negotiate like the deals for movies. Yeah. And I'll be like, so how is this movie? And they're like, what movie? I'm like, this movie. This is one of your movies, right? And they're like, oh, I don't know. I haven't seen it. I just negotiated the deal. Like,
yeah,
people don't understand. So I don't think anybody's thinking of Andor and being like, oh no, we need to act the opposite of the Empire. Like, this is the way these businesses behave. And while it'd be great if you or I were in charge of one of them. Right, like, they're always going to look for their best interests, and that is what is going on here.
Yeah, I think I want to make it clear. Like, Jeff and I may not always agree, but I know Jeff can be fair, and so people want to go after Jeff, but we wouldn't do the show if we couldn't find common ground at times, even if we don't agree with an issue. So I just want to make that clear from anybody who's been coming after you, just like people came after me a couple of weeks ago, sending you notices and stuff like that. So just a clarification there. So.
I'm like really surprised by how strong the reaction has been. Like, obviously the optics are not great, but I think, again, if you just follow the money, it's not hard to tell why this happened.
It's just the timing of it that looks not good. It looks suspicious. It looks almost mobster-like. And that's not what you want from the American government, which is supposed to remain.
Okay, well, what are we going to do about it? Are we getting him impeached?
Oh, he's already been impeached twice, but he wasn't impeached in the Senate because they had a Republican majority and people don't want to mess with his power. I don't think there's any way to impeach him now. And I guarantee you, well, I don't want to say I guarantee you, but I think there's a really good chance that we don't even have midterm elections next year. I'm just putting it out there, because he's already laying the groundwork for it. And you don't put all this stuff in motion and then risk losing your power. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, this is the difference, though, is that I literally pay 0% attention to midterm elections.
Yeah, but that can be the difference, because it could stop a lot of what he's trying to do to hurt the country if you have a Democratic majority in the House. And you can launch investigations to find out what was really said by people behind the scenes around something like this. I mean, I think Robert Garcia already came out and said that he is launching an investigation with Sinclair and Trump and the FCC chair to find out what happened here. I don't know how much power he's going to have to do it, but there's possibilities. But that's how you find out stuff. So,
well, I think Jimmy Kimmel will be fine in the long run. He's a multi-zillionaire. Okay, there's a plethora of opportunities available to him in the event that he doesn't want to come back. That he A, wants to come back, and B, isn't allowed to come back. I do think that he will be allowed to come back. I think it'll be huge ratings for ABC. I think this is a suspension.
Okay.
And not a firing, and I don't understand why it's being positioned as such. I would have begged and killed for fucking suspensions in my day rather than being fired from places. I never understood why they couldn't suspend me since I watch people get suspended all over the fucking place. So
yeah. All right. Well, I hear you. All right. Well, there's our discussion on that. We had a good, healthy discussion on that, Jeff. We should move on real quick to reviews before we get to the questions here. Your thoughts on him not getting great reviews right now, man? 22% on Rotten Tomatoes. This does not look good.
22% on Rotten Tomatoes. Gotta listen to these people.
I'm just saying. 32%. I'm just saying it doesn't look good right now, bro.
What doesn't look good? Who gives a shit what these critics think? I don't give a fuck, dude. They love like Conjuring movies and shit.
All right.
They love fucking long legs. Okay, like come on.
Oh boy. All right. Are you going to see it this weekend?
I have tickets to see it on Saturday night.
Nice.
And I'm just going to be excited, and I don't care.
All right.
I don't care what its Rotten Tomatoes score is.
But you did see one battle after another. And for those of you who don't know, Jeff has his newsletter at theinsider.com. You put your review out. You are not with the majority of people on this movie. And 97% say this thing is like the movie of the year. You felt it was a little middling. Your thoughts?
I mean, I didn't call it middling.
Well,
I called it mid-tier.
Mid-tier. Sorry about that.
ETA, which it is. When you're talking about one of the great directors,
right?
Guess what? They can't all be masterpieces, folks. Everyone's lining up. Oh, the masterpiece of the. I mean, listen, he is a one-of-a-kind filmmaker, no doubt. There's great filmmaking chops on display here. I'm not going to dispute if he were to get an Oscar nomination, but I don't really think that he'll win. I think that this movie is good, not great. I liked it, didn't love it. It's a weird. Huh?
Who stands out? Does anyone stand out? Anyone steal the movie?
I mean, Sean Penn is the one who's going to get the most like nominations and like awards attention.
Really? Okay.
Chase Infinity stands out. I really thought she was quite good.
She plays his daughter.
Right.
Yeah.
But like Tiana Taylor's great, and she's really only in the first act of the movie. So you're kind of like sitting there hoping that she comes back. She doesn't. It's just it's a messy movie. It has a lot on its mind, and that's great, right? It wrestles with all these big ideas,
right.
But not always successfully.
Okay.
And it's a little uneven as a movie, right? It plays like a thriller for the most part, but there's also like a lot of really comedic parts.
Right.
I mean, Benicio's great too. Benicio's having like an absolute blast here.
Okay, good.
He between this and Phoenician Scheme, both the Andersons he's working with.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's just
okay.
Did you love the Master? Do you think that that's like a masterpiece, or do you think that
I wouldn't say The Master is a masterpiece, but as an actor, I loved it watching what Joaquin and Philip Seymour Hoffman did. I don't think the film held together as strongly as some other people feel it did, but I enjoy the movie for their performances. That's what I would say about The Master. So I don't, but if you're saying it's like The Master, then I know I'm going to see a good movie that's a bit uneven. So
there's one review. I think it was Slant Magazine, right?
Okay.
It was really good. This guy, Keith Ulick,
Okay.
or I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. He wrote this review of One Battle After Another. It was negative.
Okay.
And he called Leonardo DiCaprio's character a stumble bum.
Good. I like that term.
Yeah, it's a great term. And it's like he hit the nail on the head. Like, I just don't want to. This isn't how I want to see Leo.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this isn't the kind of character I enjoy watching him play. Is like the fuck up. What?
Didn't he just do that in a recent film as well that didn't quite work? Yeah, and Killers of the Flower Moon. I didn't buy him in that role as well. Yeah.
to me, he's kind of like the weak link of this movie a little bit. But again, this is good, like especially compared to like it's September, right? It's coming out in mid-September.
Right.
Okay, the first 8 months of the year aren't exactly full of Oscar contenders.
Yeah.
So yeah, this feels like a breath of fucking fresh air right now, for sure, 100%. But if you're telling me like that this movie, like there are so many people that I respect, like Jeff Wells, like this is their favorite PTA movie, like better than Boogie Nights, better than fucking Magnolia. Like I have those posters still in my apartment 30 years after they came out in theaters.
Yeah.
Like you're fucking out of your head. You're crazy. There's no way that this movie is better than those movies. Absolutely not.
There you go. Well, unfortunately, I couldn't make it out to the screening last night because there was so much thunderstorms. There was an hour and 15 minutes to get to the theater. And I was like, I love PTA, but I'm not sitting in traffic for an hour and 15 minutes. But I will see it Tuesday night and see how I feel about it. So we'll see.
Definitely worth on the big screen and the Vista Vision if you can, like all that. Like it's a great looking movie. It's good, but a masterpiece it is not.
Okay. I know we're running out of time here, Jeff. We lost Robert Redford this week, brother. 89 years old. I've just put up a remembrance and a tribute to him with my co-host on the Cinephile, Steve Morris, and I breaking it down for like an hour and 20 minutes, talking about his movies, his career, his activism. What are your thoughts on Robert Redford, 89 years old, the Sundance Institute, all the things that he did here in his life and his career?
I mean, like one of the OG legends.
Yeah.
Like I've seen a lot of Redford's work and I still haven't seen half of it. I wrote a whole obit to him. I'm like, I haven't seen The Candidate or Downhill Racer or the Way We Were or The Great Waldo Pepper or Jeremiah Johnson. You know, like
Jeremiah Johnson, bro. That's a Jeff. That's a Jeff.
A lot of almost all the others, and obviously everything he's done for the last 25 years. He wasn't just an A-list like movie star, right? With like the good looks and everything. He was a damn good actor. He was an Oscar-winning director.
Yep, Ordinary People.
Right, and like his legacy will be Sundance.
Yeah, right.
Much as it will be the movies that live on, it'll be Sundance that carries on his legacy. Just a remarkable guy, a free thinker.
Yes.
Someone who valued his freedom and individualism, and like there'll be nobody else like him. He was one of the last of a dying breed.
Yeah, I think him and Paul Newman in many ways mirrored each other, not only on screen but also in life, using their platforms to support causes. They voted for both Republican and Democratic people in their lifetime, and they also like to help young actors coming through, young creatives coming through. Certainly Robert Redford with the Sundance Institute and what have you. And so there's so much that he did in his life. And breaking down his life when we did it on the special, he was not a kid who was like born pretty and then just like the whole world was laid out to him. He came from a bit of a hard scrabble beginning and was even working on an oil rig in order to save up money to end up in Europe after he flunked out of Colorado University for drinking too much. And so there's a lot of anger and pain behind Robert Redford before he even became this actor, so, and like a lot of that came through in some of his great work. And, I would refer people to the last two films, All Is Lost and Old Man and the Gun. Those are some fantastic performances from Robert Redford as like a final goodbye as an actor. So R.I.P. to Robert Redford from us here.
Indeed.
Yeah. One last thing. You know what? Let's get into the questions, Jeff. We're running out of time. If we have time to swing back to an item, we'll do that. But let's get into the questions here. Dennis Hoffman says, fantastic newsletter today. Jeff, John really enjoyed the Redford special today. Oh, thanks, Dennis.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Dennis.
Goopy G says, who's the most versatile director? My first thought is Spielberg, but he hasn't really nailed comedy or romance. Maybe Billy Wilder? Love y'all. Oh, yeah. Billy Wilder, to me, is the most versatile director, for sure. Multiple genres. Yeah, Spielberg's never really nailed comedy, has he, Jeff?
No.
Who would you say is the most versatile?
It's a good question. I'm trying to think. I mean, honestly, someone who's made classics in multiple genres.
Okay.
Sam Raimi.
Oh, stop it. Just stop it. Where's his romance? Which one? Darkman? Is that his romance? I do like a Simple Plan, though. That is a good one.
Sam Raimi can do a lot of different things.
Okay. All right. Dennis says, Jeff, I know you're a criminal fan. Have you heard anything about Brubaker's Reckless with Sebastian Stan? Awesome series.
No, I have not heard about Reckless.
Okay.
Awesome series. So is it like the comic book series or like a series?
That's what he's talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that I've read Reckless. I don't think I have.
Okay.
I have not heard anything about the show.
Dennis Hoffman says, Mama Rocha has good taste. Favorite movie/TV mom? Ooh. Oh. Jesus. I don't know. Who's the favorite movie/TV mom?
Marge Simpson?
Sure. Let's go with Marge Simpson. Why not? I mean, Mrs. Brady was pretty good as well. Matt says the SAG-AFTRA and WGA statements are nice, but unless the actors, writers stop working for the studio, it feels performative. I have to tell you, Jeff, I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, obviously.
all these statements are nice and fun, and they're nice and performative, and you get to put them on your Insta stories. But until you put your money where your mouth is, which is to risk the work, then it doesn't mean if they start posting do not work notices on all the sets that are connected to Disney, then I'll start listening. But statements are fun, but they mean
now,
nothing.
What is Damon Lindelof working on right now, as far as we all know?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't
think about it. What is Damon Lindelof working on, as far as
I don't know. Lost, Watchmen. What is he working on? I don't know.
Lanterns.
Oh, Star Wars. What? Lanterns. Oh, that's right. But that's Warner Brothers. That's got nothing to do with Disney.
Exactly. He's working on Lanterns at Warner Brothers. So when he's like, I am not going to work for Disney until I put Jimmy Kimmel back on the air. Well, okay, dude, you're busy working on HBO shows. So
yeah, that's right. That Shadow says, Jeff, have you heard about any casting for the God of War or Mass Effect TV shows?
No.
Okay. Bobby Jackson, what's up, Bobby? He says, is it me or with everything going on, I feel like calls to, quote, release the Epstein files have died down. Yeah, how interesting. How interesting that has happened. How fascinating.
I need them released. I need to see them.
Yeah.
To believe what I believe, to back it up.
At least to find out what's true and what isn't.
We need the truth. We demand it. We're the American people.
Yes, we are. Dennis Office is Jeff, will you ever spill how Glenn Powell got off Scream Queens? Ooh, Jeff, do you know this story?
No.
Okay.
I don't think I know this story.
You seem to think you do.
I don't think I want to know this story.
Showmonger says, Jeff, is S. Craig Zoller working on anything? I enjoy Bone Tomahawk, Brawl, and Subblock 99 and Drag Across Concrete more than most.
He's working on a bag of Doritos right now.
But he's eating them with pieces of gravel inside the bag. He's one of these directors that I enjoy, Jeff. A tough director, Tim Miller. These guys who direct hardcore shit,
I
right?
definitely like him. But he's working on that movie, the Brawler and the Bookie, or the Bookie and the Brawler.
Oh, all right.
But I don't know what's going on with it. I feel like it keeps getting hung up, hitting snags.
I was watching about an hour of Bone Tomahawk the other night. Damn it! Until that moment, I love that movie. But when that moment happens, it decimates me, man. Mr. Queso says, Jeff, if Reeves merged, when would they announce? Oh,
March 14th, 2026.
Put it on the calendar.
Mark it on the calendar. I don't know.
Victor already says, truth is, Kimmel is more popular today than he was 48 hours ago. If I were him, I would leverage this into a new deal at a different place, possibly on Apple TV. Well, he's got a contract till 2026, so it would depend on what they could negotiate. Because Jeff might be right in one section of his cause that ABC is doing this to save him and protect him.
2026, 4 months.
In May in 2026, so it's a little more than that. But
There's nothing.
Awesome. I'm Two Fly Cam says FCC chair is doing Trump's bidding. It's rather obvious when you look at the man's Twitter posts. This is a direct blow at the First Amendment. It's obvious. Yeah. It's ironic, too, because he tweeted out how much he thinks the government should not be involved in policing speech last year. But now he's, part of this thing. So.
I mean, with all the emojis and gifs that Carr was supposedly celebrating with to reporters, Yeah, it's clear that this was somewhat personal.
Yeah,
right?
it was.
But I still think that Nexstar acted independently. Even if they knew the answer, they knew that this would delight them. Like, what do you know?
You're so insane. I love you, but you're crazy. Derek Johnson says, "Hey, been crazy busy. Good to see you, Derek. Jeff, I'm sorry you're incredibly naive about this. When Brendan Carr sends a threat to your company at the behest of the president, they can hold up mergers, block acquisitions. You think anyone wants to risk that? How is this hard to understand?"
Literally what I said.
Yeah, but he's saying what I said, which is that he's using the government, power of the government, to enforce his will on an independent speaking person because they're saying negative things about him and joking.
You're giving him this active role in things that I don't think that that is merited.
When have you seen a Trump appointed person go off on their own and not get fired? It has never happened. Every time they go off on their own or don't support him,
they can hold up mergers, block acquisitions. You think anybody wants to risk that? Of course they don't. That's why they're trying to curry favor, and that's why they suspended Jimmy Kimmel. That's what literally the whole column is about, Derek.
Right, but the whole point is, why is the president doing that? Why are the people who work for the president doing that?
Didn't do it.
Oh my God, Jeff, come on. Do you think Nixon was innocent too? Corn Emperor says, Jeff, if you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. Love you, but now is the time to stand. Love you both. You don't have to respond to any of these if you don't feel like you have to.
I am standing. I'm standing on the side of it's good that this guy's taken off the air, because if he continued to say what he was saying and said what he planned to say, okay, it would only inflame the situation more. It sounds like you want that. Free speech, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Put him on the air. Let him say whatever he wants.
Yes.
But if you were running a business, you wouldn't do that. That's not how you run a successful business, by handing the mic to the guy who just got threatened by the president. That his time will come to respond. That's what a suspension is.
Right, but I will.
He was already taken before the suspension. He was taken off the air by Nexstar, which is like half the markets.
Well, I think the frustrating part too is that you see people on Fox News, and all these people say some of the most horrendous stuff, and they're not suspended at all. And it's because they're not in the same ecosystem as Jimmy Kimmel found himself, which is on primetime network television with ABC as the
Come
company.
Come to streaming. Then you don't have to deal with the FCC, right?
I agree. It's first. There's no independent Fox. That's what you need. We need an independent left side of things, that can lean to the middle as well. We need that as a counter to all of this.
It's like, are we playing by the rules or not? You have taken a show at a broadcast network. Therefore, you need to submit to certain broadcast standards. And if Nexstar deems you in violation of those standards, it has the right via its contract to pull you off the air. You sign that agreement.
Right.
Yeah. This is America.
This is America, which means you're allowed to speak your mind.
But you're not allowed to just speak your mind if someone else has their fucking hand on the plug. That's for sure. John Hoban says, great conversation, guys. I lean more with Rocha on this, but I love you both. Thank you, John. Mr. Graham 91, Hollywood's quote freedom of speech stance is wildly inconsistent. Careers have been derailed for bucking certain political views without a peep of outcry for their rights. Why should Kimmel get a pass? Well, I think it's a little bit different because I saw a lot of people bringing up Gina Carano, and it's like she posted Holocaust stuff. Like, that's a whole nother ballgame than what Kimmel said. It's completely different from what Kimmel said, which is to essentially take the facts of what happened here, which is the kid grew up in a MAGA household with MAGA parents, and he said MAGA was on in his house all the time. It doesn't matter what he said, though. Okay, it matters how it was accepted,
interpreted.
Exactly how it was interpreted by people. It doesn't matter what he said. And people don't seem to understand that. There's a disconnect there.
It doesn't matter what he said. Yeah, but at some point, if you're twisting someone's words, how is that the responsibility of the person who said it? And because they're twisting it in bad faith, they're purposely twisting it to play to their base so they can keep making money off their base who buy it hook, line, and sinker. And that's the problem. Like chicks,
God forbid, isn't that the whole point of capitalism? This is the society that we have signed up to be a part of. They're twisting it to play to their base. Yes, that's what everybody does. Nobody is twisting it to play away from their base.
Well, I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah.
I think it is true of every company in America.
Well, companies, yeah. Derek Johnson says, people are seeing the levers and true power of the government in hands that have no regulation. Some of us are still ignorant of that power because it's never been wielded this corruptly in this country before.
There's no question. It's like we're back in the 80s. It's like back in like the Get Yours time.
Well, I kind of feel like even, Derek, no offense to you, but I think you're being a little historically ignorant because I think in the past we have seen this with how the country has treated certain sections of society, certain segments of the population. If you go back, there's always been corruption in America. Bless you. I know there's American exceptionalism, but if you go back and study, and I read a lot of biographies of presidentials and their administrations, there's been corruption since the inception of this country in different ways by people in power in the presidency. So there you go. Bless you. I'm Two for Like Cam says, when did a Biden or Obama threaten Kirk or Fox News for the BS coverage and narratives they pushed? Never. Right wing is cancel culture. I will say this. I have to say that I know you may not agree, Jeff, but it does feel like all these people who are supposedly against cancel culture have no problem with someone being suspended for expressing their freedom of speech. It's just a bit of hypocrisy on that end, in my opinion.
Again, I don't think that's why they suspended him. No, you're conflating and confusing two issues.
How so?
I don't think that ABC or Disney suspended him for anything that he said. Right?
Yes,
which is backed up by the reporting that said that their execs didn't feel that he crossed the line.
Right, they didn't feel he crossed the line, but they saw that Trump and MAGA and the right wing felt that he crossed the line. They were afraid of what the repercussions could be. And so they made a decision to pull him off the air because of that.
So it wasn't about violating his free speech, though.
It was catering to people who wanted to violate his free speech.
But there were enough people who were offended by what he said that it made a difference to their bottom line. Otherwise, they wouldn't have listened.
Right. But it's also convenient listening because Nexstar leans right. And they've supported Trump. Wacky Wally Ed says, Chris Hardwick, etc. I hate Trump, but he's using the cancel bomb that has been destroying careers, sometimes deservedly, for years. This ain't the first witch hunt, and freedom has been sliding.
Yeah. I mean, I know people keep bringing up like Project 2025, which is not something that I am versed enough to talk about. Yeah. So this is the playbook, and like these are the people who were mentioned, and it's like he's picking them off one by one. I'm like, again, I just don't think anybody's being picked off here. I don't think that Jimmy Kimmel is a victim of cancel culture. He's a victim of suspension culture. He has not been canceled. And it's, I hate to bring him up, but, it's like Portnoy said, I don't think that that's what cancel culture is. Cancel culture is going back to 20 years of podcasts to find something that no longer is politically correct and bringing it up and making it a headline.
That's nonsense. That was him moving the goalposts. That is nonsense when he said that. That is not the same thing. That is a part of cancel culture. Yes, that has happened within quote unquote cancel culture, or as I like to call it, consequences culture, which is accurate. That is a part of it, but that is not the only definition of quote unquote cancel culture. That's him using a convenient definition so he doesn't have to admit that what's going on is cancel culture.
Disney ABC suspended Jimmy to help Jimmy. Okay.
Possibly. That is
my theory. Yes.
Right.
And I will stand by that theory.
I know. Great. Derek Johnson says, great show for the little I saw. See you guys in a few months. Great show tonight. Thank you, Derek. Appreciate you stopping by, brother, man. And hope everything's going well in your life. Well, sending you love, buddy. I'm Two Flat Cam says, Tron's box office predictions looks terrible. I say 330 worldwide. Yeah, I think it's 44 million opening weekend, Jeff. I think that's actually not bad for Tron. What do you think? It's like these are money makers, these films.
I agree. Like 40, if it hit 45, 50 million, I think that's a win.
Yeah.
Anything under 40 would be a real disappointment. So I think that is kind of the perfect range, but we'll see whether tracking goes up or down in the coming weeks.
The original Tron made $33 million total in its entire run. The Tron Legacy film made $172 million total in its entire run. So if it opens at 44, 45, that matches Tron Legacy's opening, which was 44 million. So, I'd be happy with 44. Evan said The Gift is extremely underrated Sam Raimi film. Jeff is right. Raimi can do it all. The best parts of Spider-Man 2 are the human drama elements. So talk to me about Spider-Man 3.
Comic book movies, he did one of the best ones. Horror movies, he did one of the best ones. He can do drama like A Simple Plan. He can do a lot, Sam Raimi. Underrated.
But Marvel movies, he made one of the worst ones. Brady BK says, 1/4, I'm not American, nor am I invested in American politics, and I don't have a dog in this fight. So as an outside neutral observer, for me, it was attack on free speech when Kimmel was pulled. It keeps going. I was also an attack on free speech when Gina was fired. I didn't like it when Gina got fired. I don't like it now. People who were okay with Gina getting fired and now have a problem with Kimmel are the hypocrites. That's bullshit. I can break that down real easily for you. Jeff then said Gina shouldn't have been fired. Jeff has always been consistent in his views. Can't say the same about you, John. Oh, no. And I'm sure you're going to say it's not the same. Yes, of course it isn't the same, Brady. I am Charlie, and we are the media now. No more lies and no more Antifa. Trump gets to decide who is Antifa. Sure, James, whatever you say.
I am consistent in my views. There is no consistency. People on both sides want it like completely different ways.
Well, fair. If you feel that way, I feel differently, but if you feel that way. Bad Sinister McCall says, happened last week, but I love when Jeff tells Rocha to kick an asshole out of the chat. It's like someone drinks too much and is tossed out of the club.
I like the person in the chat today that said why I don't have a girlfriend. Who did I go to Palm Springs with earlier last month? Shit, going with ghosts.
Brady's back says, John, you said the left went too far under Biden as exposed by Twitter files report by the New York Times. Biden administration was pressuring Hollywood and Silicon Valley to suppress anti-vax voices. So it's kind of, oh God, you guys are just, oh my God. Some of you just buy whatever gets put out there. I swear to God, the Twitter files. Matt Taibbi and his bullshit. Get out of here with that
craziness going on.
Ugh.
I just think it helps to be moderate on this issue rather than like, this is it. It's coming for everybody. Like we can't. Like here we are in this podcast. We can say anything. I don't think Trump's coming for us. I don't. Okay, well, I think that we'll find like free speech will find a way. I don't think that like, Anyways, I know people just love to hate on Trump, and I don't think he's the best president or anything, but catches a lot of strays.
He also shoots a lot of strays. Night. Hey, boys. Jeff, how's your love life? Had a crush for years. I got to know the tea before I embarrass myself. I'd still buy you lunch and talk film. Oh, someone hitting on you, Jeffy. Look at that.
Oh, look at that. What do we got there? We got some fire? Fireplace?
I think that's
I am very sexy. You got to imagine me without this and just the tie.
It's on the internet. It's on Twitter. You can see it.
Oh, yeah. That is on Instagram. Head over
Alice Smithy says, maybe we should just bring the Man Show back and Adam Carolla can appease Trump while Kimmel still gets to be on TV. Never mind. That's a terrible idea. Yeah, those guys certainly went in two different directions, Carolla and Kimmel.
I mean, I don't know the particulars of like Kimmel's contract, but like, is there any reason he couldn't go on Instagram Live right now and break the internet?
I think there's no reason for it, but I think he's just playing this out. He's just like, okay, let's.
Because that's what you do during a suspension. You just lay low and
right.
You cool off.
Let people clamor for you to return.
And even THR mentioned it, like cooling off period. Like, again, tensions are high right now.
Yeah.
I think Disney ABC made the right move to take this guy off the air while these tensions are so high.
And clearly The View was told to not say a fucking word about it today. They are super political every morning, and they didn't mention it one thing about it.
And it's like, isn't that like the better outcome? Like, hey, Jimmy, we're going to let you go back on the air, but we're going to control everything that you say. And if you go off script, like you're in deep shit, right? Wouldn't at that point you just say, you know what? Let's just not even do this show.
But the balance is not happening, is it? Because all the Fox News, OANN, all these guys are running crazy with their bullshit about this shooter, and they're trying to frame the narrative about this shooter before all the evidence comes out. So what's the difference? Why are they allowed to run crazy with no repercussions, no expectations to turn the heat down? Because they're like, we got to go after the left. This is civil war. How come you're not complaining about that, Jeff? How they're overreacting to everything by claiming this is civil war now. You have Benny Johnson, all these clowns out here saying all this stuff to essentially rile up their base.
So like, I don't even know who Benny Johnson is. Like, this is like a name that I just learned this morning.
Fair point.
So I don't know all these people and players, and I'm not a political person.
I know.
You want the truth? First time I voted was for Hillary.
There you go.
So like,
yeah,
because I knew what was at stake there.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to vote for the first female president. Didn't work out like that. But you know why they get to do things? Everyone's like, well, why do they get this and we don't get to? Why do they this? I'll tell you why. And it sucks to hear this.
Okay.
Because they won, John.
No.
And when you win, you get to write the history books.
Well, then why did those bitches keep going for 4 years from 2020 to 2024? Everything was stolen. We were stolen. Storm the Capitol. We're very mad. Why were they allowed?
I wouldn't say that the other side respects.
You've never shut the fuck up for 10 years about this stuff, Jeff. Come on.
Okay, so what? Again, I'm not on that side.
I'm just saying we need balance.
That is why people at Fox News get to say certain things about the left, and people on the left are now apparently not allowed to say the same things about people on the right.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Because the right fucking won. So get your shit together on the left. You've got 3 years.
Right. I see what you're saying. Yes. Well, if he even lets elections happen, who knows if that happens? We'll see. Matt Sister McCall says, why can't we start a third party? The drama must end. Well, they've tried. Ross Perot tried. Certainly Bernie really was, something that was a possibility, but it never quite worked out. There's just not enough people for a third party.
But it needs to be what is that third party? Yeah, it has to be somewhere in the middle if you want to take down the other two parties. So
yeah. I just think both parties are invested in not having a third party, and that would be a very difficult thing to put in motion.
They're invested in keeping us divided, and that's the whole problem 100%. With the country is just how divisive everything is. Again, late night television. When I was watching late night television, yeah, of course there were jokes about Bill Clinton getting blowjobs in the West and all that kind of shit. Yes. But I don't remember it being so vicious, and I'm not a fan of political comedy. So I don't think it's what people want to go to bed listening to these days, which again is the purpose of the Tonight Show, or the late, Jimmy Kimmel Live. Yeah. I don't like the cold open on SNL is political every fucking weekend. Politics, I don't understand why in life, John, aren't we taught don't talk about politics. It's tacky. Don't bring up politics at a dinner party. But then everywhere else we go, we're just bombarded with fucking politics.
Well, because politics aren't like it was back then anymore, right? When it was back then, they were, obviously you had people who believed one way or another, but when you lost, you lost. And then you kind of okay, we get to negotiate. Let's find compromise. That's how it was. Now it's become so tribalistic that it becomes almost like sports, where that one team you fucking hate, you have to always hate them forever and never find the middle ground. And that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? And to me, the reason I fight the way I fight is because I feel like there has to be voices who contradict the other side, who have so many voices, who have been yelling for so long. And I'm trying to balance things out by what I'm doing.
Don't you feel like in the we have enough of those voices? You don't think that there are enough? It just feels like everybody, when I look out my media window,
right,
it's almost all anti-Trump,
But as you said earlier, you don't really watch the stuff. You don't know who Benny Johnson. If you knew the right, you would know who Benny Johnson is.
Yeah, I have no
idea
idea
who all these people are. So you don't go to that place for information. But if you did, you would see so many of these people that are out there. And if Ellison gets his way, he might take control of CNN, and then you're going to see even more of those
I pay attention to the mainstream media, and all I see is anti-Trump, and so, and I think that, again, if the majority of the country likes Trump, of course they're going to reject mainstream media, which is what we're seeing happen in mass numbers now, and they're going to embrace alternative sources that just validate their views. But it's like, fortunately, the left is fallen victim to the same trap, and they just want their views reinforced as well, and nobody really wants to hear the truth, which is always somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, but there has to be a good faith desires to find the middle. And until there is, I don't think we ever will. And as you said, and I agree with you, there are a lot of people in power who don't want us to find the middle, who want to keep us divided because they've built their operating machines that make them money off keeping us divided, including on social media. I'm too like says, let's be honest, two Batman won't work, merge or fail. I don't know anymore. I don't know. I know Jeff agrees this, but I don't know anymore, man. People want to give James Gunn a lot of rope to do what he wants to do. So maybe a Brave and Bold can work. We'll see.
Yeah.
Corn Emperor says, Jeff, your retort was scary. Just doing their jobs? I don't know what he's referring to. I don't remember you saying that.
Who was doing their jobs?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just put in the chat, Corn, I'll come back to it.
She-Hulk says to cancel Disney Plus. LOL, is she in Daredevil? I don't know. I don't know if she's in Daredevil. Do you know if she's in Daredevil, Jeff?
I have no idea, but you know what? All these tough talkers, right? I hope you're all enjoying Alien Earth, and I don't know if it's the last episode, if it's already aired, but go ahead and cancel it before the last episode airs. Or are you going to wait? I'm going to wait for that show to end, and then I'll do it.
That's next week. Evan says, will do, John. Spider-Man 3 rocks. No, it does not. Much better than the worst Spider-Man film, Far From Home. Oh my God, Evan, did you get hit with a brick before you typed? What is wrong with you? Why would you even say that? That's not what. Far From Home is amazing. Oh my God. Matt Sister McCall says, Jeff, who's your favorite celebrity to talk to? Yeah, Jeff, who's your favorite celebrity to talk to? Who are you talking to nowadays, Jeff? Who are you calling up?
My favorite celebrity to talk to?
Yeah.
That's a good. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, this seems like a perfect opportunity to plug a celebrity that you recently spoke to, Troy Kotsur, right, for the Black Rabbit show that's coming.
That's weird. If that doesn't come tonight, it'll arrive tomorrow. It'll be an interview with him. He's great on Black Rabbit, which is now available on Netflix.
Came out today. Yes,
highly recommend it. I don't do interview. Like you see people and they interview like everybody.
Yeah,
and it's because a publicist like guilted them into it, basically.
Yeah,
and you don't find, and there's nothing interesting about them or their performance in the movie, but it's just like, this is a favor that I had to do for the publicist sort of interview. I don't do those interviews. I sought out Troy's people, and I knew it'd be, a little bit of an extra challenge because obviously he's deaf, and so I had to, go through an interpreter, which took actually, a minute or two to sort of get the hang of it and everything.
Right.
We had a great chat, and I hope that people, give that a read, because it's like, where's this guy been the last few years? He just won the Oscar a few years ago.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it, to seeing how many episodes is the series. 6 or 8?
I think it's 8 episodes.
8 episodes? Okay.
Born Emperor is saying their thing where they said people just doing their jobs. Again, I'm still confused. When you were saying that people like Kimmel need to just do what they're told, it's been a while, so I can't quote you, but like people like Kimmel just do what they're told.
Yeah, he was basically saying that you were saying that Kimmel just needs to do what he's told. That's what he's trying to do.
Disney ABC was saying you need to apologize like this, and he refused to. And that's what happens when you refuse to do something your employer asks you to do. You get suspended.
Yeah.
I don't know why this is so hard for people to understand.
Yeah. Jackie Brown says, Trump is 100% responsible for the BS going on with the FCC, Jeff. John joked before, but look at Jenna O and Emily B. Ozempic is for real. Yeah. I mean, I have to say, watching the recent season of Only Murders in the Building, it seems like, we see that. The FCC could come after YouTubers next. Don't believe me? You should. 3 questions, please answer. Okay.
Well, I did, when everyone's like, oh, they're coming after Substackers next. It's like, well, I'm on Beehive. So, there you go.
You're safe.
It's not a big enough platform for the government to target.
Who's Emily B? I don't know who Emily B is.
Emily Blunt.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, everyone's doing it. Everyone's on the male and female. They're all on the Olympic. Yeah.
It's gross.
Except Jeff and I. We're not on it.
I wish I was on it. I could really use it. I'm getting a little gut.
What? A little? It's not what that's for. It's not for your little gut.
What's it for?
It's for people who are legitimately obese. It's
no, I know, but I'm saying I have,
You're not obese.
So my doctor might argue otherwise.
Dr. Vinny Boomguts. Fred Test 14 says, hey, Hot Mike, with him opening this weekend, does it have a legit chance to break 50 million? No, it does not, because I haven't seen the marketing push like I have for other movies. Also, I can see Fede Alvarez stepping over to the DCU now that he's available. Oh, I could see him do some DCU dark stuff. Certainly.
Sure. He could be a good idea for Swamp Thing if man doesn't end up 100%. Doing that because of Star Wars. He's going to be pretty busy.
Right. I don't think it has a chance to break 50 million. Maybe overall 50.
Yeah, exactly. But it's probably going to open to 15 to 20.
Yeah, I mean the embargo lifted at 1 a.m. last night. That tells you everything you need to know about how good this film is. Games_John says, love the newsletter, Jeff, and the channel. John Rocha shared his takes on Gaza since Paramount's made moves seen as pro-Israel. I'd value your read. How do you view their stance? You seem happy with Ellison taking over. Stellar work, guys. First of all, I've never shared my views on Gaza. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I stay out of that situation. The only thing I say is I don't want innocent lives killed in this conflict. That's the only thing I stand for.
Why are we seeing, John, the chat on the lower right?
Sorry, I hit the beta. Sorry about that. Let me turn that off. Sorry about that, Jeff. But yeah, I've never made any comment on either thing because to me that's a centuries old conflict, and no matter what side you take, there are people who are going to attack you for whatever side you take because there's so much involved in this, and it's not my thing. Jeff, do you want to answer anything about this?
Absolutely not. You definitely want to know my take.
Yeah. Okay, good. Samuel says, hey, y'all, can't watch live. Thank you. Currently watching North by Northwest. Yes. And awesome. The good Hitchcock film. Anyway, with ABC pulling Jimmy, should we be fearful of progressive counterculture films being banned? Or will we see a rise of that by indie distributors like A24 and Neon like in the 70s? I mean, Jeff, it's a legitimate question. Are studios now going to be afraid to greenlight films that are critical of the administration or could allude to the administration?
I haven't seen anything like that. I haven't seen evidence of anything like that. Just last year, we had The Apprentice, and it was nominated for multiple Oscars, even though it's released by a tiny distributor because nobody wanted it.
Yeah.
Art finds a way. So, whether there was a chilling effect or not on these major corporations. Yeah. Tom Ortenberg is a baller, and he stepped up and bought it and released it, and people saw it, and it was fucking the best movie I saw.
It's a good movie. Aaron Latham, 19. It's very possible, but like Jeff said, art always finds a way. I mean, it would take a massive, massive effort to do that.
I am are people going to write differently? Like, if they want to tell a Trump movie, you think a studio is going to turn them down if it's a great script or if it's a great filmmaker? I don't think so.
Not at Paramount, they won't. You can even make a terrible Trump film. They'll absolutely make it for you. Aaron Latham, 1990 says, I've been loving Task so far. Do you think it'll be a big break for Tom Pelphrey? I think he's an amazing actor. Could see him crush it as Wolverine. Ooh. I hadn't even thought of him for Wolverine. Shit. I could see that.
Bro, I like that. I like that. Dog. I mean, he's got a little Johnny Bernthal to him.
He does. Yeah.
I talked about him today. I do think it'll open some doors for him, even more than Ozark did. Because
I don't know what the numbers are. I got to see what the numbers are to see if people are noticing him, but he's incredible in the show. So yeah, I like that idea. And the older actor, dude, the older actor who plays the guy who's in charge of the main antagonist, like that dude is great. I've seen him in so many things. He's excellent, man. Samuel says, thoughts on the bad reviews on him. Does this hurt Jordan Peele, even though he's only the producer? I don't think so. Do you think so, Jeff?
I mean, it doesn't help. Yeah, I definitely think it does. I mean, that's why he had layoffs at his company, right?
Oh, at Monkey Paw.
The movie got taken off the calendar. I think that they're struggling right now, and I think that he needs to shake it up and do something different. I think he needs to get out of his head, get out of horror, and go do either that Kobe Bryant movie.
Oh, yeah.
Or something else that's just like a change of pace.
Yeah. I mean, could he do Blade? Is it too late for him to do Blade? Just throwing it out there.
It's never too late to say never, mate.
Thompson says, John and Jeff, any DC updates or Marvel X-Men reboot updates? No, I haven't heard anything. Jeff, have you heard anything?
And reboot updates. I could tell you, but then I'd have to snipe, kill you.
I might have a Marvel update tomorrow on the Geek Buddies, but I don't have one today. We'll see.
Him is definitely being sold on Peele's name, so like even though it's not him, like I definitely think it will reflect.
That's a good point. Yeah. Tim says, Johnny boy, I have a hot take hotter than the Kimmel situation. Deion Sanders is not a good coach, and throwing his players under the bus all the time is horrible. Just trying to ease the tension. Tim, I agree with you. I love Deion. He's a Seminole. He's great in that Cowboys documentary. But do I think he's a great Division I level coach? Absolutely not. And I think he had two transcendent talents for college football in Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter. But I don't think he knows what he's doing with regular players. And you can see that in how Colorado plays. What do you think?
John, can you believe this guy? This is a guy who... No, I don't know anything about
Stephen A. The problem. What about the Molly situation, Jeff? What does your instinct tell you on this? Is it simply just that she hit a wall and didn't want to come back? They weren't going to, the opportunities they were offering her were not what she wanted outside of, was it pardon the take, whatever it is. Do you think she decided, okay, that's it, I don't want to come back? Are you guys going to let me quit? Because I want to quit. Do you think that's what happened? Or do you think
I have no idea. I haven't really read that much into that whole situation. I mean, it's probably one of those rock the boat, don't rock the boat, baby, rock the boat, don't rock the boat, right? And she rocked the boat a little bit, and I mean, I don't know what happened. But it's certainly intriguing. It's food.
I think they didn't have. I think maybe she just hit a wall. Like 10 years at one place, you kind of just go like,
long time.
Yeah, I kind of want to go someplace else and see what I can do. And certainly many people have left ESPN and flourished outside of ESPN. So maybe she wants to try it.
We'll see.
Yeah, I like Molly. Tim says, Johnny boy. Oh, no, he already said that. Sorry about that. Anonymous says, I have to go back to the best movie moms, Beverly D'Angelo from National Lampoon's Vacation. Well, you'll get no argument from me, especially in Vacation. When you have that shower.
Best movie mom. Sorry. Did I answer the TV mom? Is that where I was wrong in that? Or?
No, it was movie or TV mom. They gave us the option. So
movie or who's a great movie mom? Yeah. Ooh, that's tough. Catherine O'Hara. Home Alone.
No, because she leaves her son behind.
Well, yeah, but she also cut short her trip.
Still, she left him behind.
Grieving.
Who is a great movie mom? How about the mom from E.T., right? Dee Wallace? Wouldn't she be a great a movie mom? No. Oh, God, Bambi's mom.
Bambi's mom took one for the team.
That's horrible.
Sarah Connor.
Oh, Sarah Connor. Oh, Sigourney Weaver in Aliens. I mean, I guess kind of a pseudo stepmom for Newt. Sure.
She's not a mom. Pseudo stepmom. You're not a mom. The stepmother community is going to come after me.
All right. Well, there you go. I think that's everything, Jeff. We got Lemmy Ward coming in. Hi, boys. It looks like Netflix is in the mix to buy Warner Brothers. I'm also hearing Murdoch is looking at it as well. What are your predictions for this bidding war?
Google, baby. Google the company, google.com, and see what comes up. You're going to get results on Google.
So you think google.com will take care of it? Do you think they'll come in and buy Warner Brothers?
That company? You don't think so?
I mean, it makes sense. I would do it if I was Google.
Little boop, bop, boop.
You want to make forward. Yeah, yeah.
Warner Brothers, a Google corporation.
Yeah, that's true. What about the Ballmer situation? You got any thoughts on that? What do you think? You think he's guilty? Do you think he was duped?
Guilty as sin, this fucking guy. This get him out of the fucking league, this fucking guy. Hey.
Come on, man. This guy duped. I was duped. You're so intelligent. How are you duped?
This is quite vexing.
Paul Walter Hauser, Resident Evil. Is this a good idea, Jeff? Do you like it? Real quick. Yes? No? Yes?
I mean, who would hate Paul Walter Hauser in anything?
Yeah.
He's the man. I mean, the more the merrier.
I agree. One last thing. Apparently, Stallone wanted to do an AI version of himself. This is a shot from there, an AI version of himself in a new Rocky movie.
I thought that was Rambo. I thought he wanted to do an AI version of himself in Rambo.
No, it was Rocky. It was Rocky.
Are you sure? You should fact check that.
What? It was Rocky. All right, I'm gonna look it up right now.
I thought they were talking about Rambo and how they were going to bring him back to like Vietnam.
What?
Yeah.
Isn't that the Noah Centineo? Oh, you're right. My apologies. He wanted a AI version of himself as John Rambo. Oh.
Had the hair done and everything. Look at you. That's cute.
I apologize.
But it's all good. But yeah, he wanted to go back and play Rambo, and then Noah got cast out of nowhere, and then they announced this Rocky movie out of nowhere, and he's like, I don't know what's going on.
Where's my money? Where's my money? But he does have a new book coming out, and Tulsa King comes out this weekend. I'm looking forward to it. I love Tulsa King.
Tulsa King, Dwight Manfredi.
Tulsa King is like fun, play on your phone while you watch a show type of
and Jackson, baby.
Yeah, and Kevin Pollak. Come on.
Ooh.
That's a good one, right? All right, that's everything. Thank you all so much. We got to get out of here. Thanks, everybody, for the Streamlabs Super Chats. Thanks, everybody, for the lively chat. And, I hope we gave you a lot to think about from the commentaries we had on all the subjects we talked about here today. Jeff, where can they find you and subscribe to your newsletter, man?
Support free speech. Support independent journalism at theinsnider.com. Don't let billionaires filter the media that you read.
There you go. There you go. As for me, at The Rocha Says on all social media platforms, please remember to subscribe to the channel. We are so close to 40,000 subscribers. Help us get across the line. Hit a like on this video. Share it on your social media. Leave your comments about everything down below. And we'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode of The Hot Mic. Peace until then.